we also have to remember that gay men are still men, right? That's number one. But
Oh,
gay men are still men, but also it's LGBTQIA month. Make these queer spaces also inclusive of lesbian women, like bi
yes.
folks and stuff. Because I think the emphasis a lot is like gay men, gay men. I really do think so. And it's not even, I'm not self hating right now. I'm just saying, like, what my
Absolutely.
observations where it's like, I think. Hello, girly pop. Welcome back to another episode of Definitely Delusional. My name is Dean.
And I'm Emily.
Happy Pride Month. Pride has wallet open.
I love Pride Month. Every month is Pride Month to me because I celebrate the LGBTQI plus community every single day, not just 1 month of the
Now you sounded like Gabby from the back.
year.
You've been watching too many of those videos.
I love her.
I love her so much with her
I
shades. And she's like, well, 365, party girl, party for you.
So I love the lore that is Gabby and Robbie. I
Mhm,
saw Robbie, God, it must have been like a
mhm.
year and a half ago, at a comedy set, and Robbie was the opener for Chad and JT, and Robbie was hysterical. And I'm so glad that is who ended up with Gabby, and they seem really happy and they're in a great relationship, and everything they do is just comedic gold. So I'm glad that two really funny women were able to, get married and fall in love, and it's just hopeful.
Oh
It's
my
really hopeful.
God. You know that? Okay, I just saw a video today where it's like if I see another couple during Pride Month, it's like I'm gonna crash out me because it was like what? That's not fair. You know what? I need to calm down. I need to calm down. Everything's fine. Me because I'm like if I have to see someone another like loving couple while my single ass. Ooh.
So do you watch Love on the Spectrum at all?
You told me to watch it and I've watched like one episode and I fear I'm not in the mental space to watch it right now because I'd be crying. I'm like these hoes have it no games.
It's the sweetest. It's the sweetest. So this is like a double thing. Perry, who was on this past season, she was in the parade, and she has found her love with this wonderful woman named Tina. And I met Perry, and she was just the nicest human. Took a picture with me, everything. And then there's another couple, Abby and David. And there's a scene with Abby's mom. And she's like, do you remember that one time that you hissed at a couple on the bus? She's like, yeah. And I snarled at them. She wanted to be in a relationship so bad. I fear that I'm turning into Abby, just hissing at the happy
I fear
couples.
that was me.
That's you.
I feel like
Are
that
you
was me
hissing
during
at all the
Pride.
happy
That was
couples?
me. That was me during Pride, and I was hissing. I was hissing at Glam
Seriously.
Cocks. I was literally hissing.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Speaking of that, oh my God. I'm going to say this with my full chest. I have never in my life seen such attractive people in one setting. Like, it was like person after person after perfect person, perfect face, body snatch for the gods. I mean, one right after the other after the other. At one point, like, I think you were talking to me, Dean, and in my mind it was like words, just like it, word salad. Want, 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 want,
I mean,
want.
it
But
could have been, you
uh,
know. I mean,
I mean,
a
what?
lot of factors could have played
I
into it.
was just like,
I'm like, I don't know if
I was like looking around. I was like, oh my God. Like, I couldn't even compute anything people were saying just because I was so distracted.
Well, me too, girl. I mean, you know when you lose your impulses, I fear that I may have lost some of my impulses in terms of like my eyes, because sometimes I'm always like look
Oh,
away, because I just can't. I'm like I gotta look away before. The last time I looked at a guy and it was serious, I was not happy for a year.
yeah.
So, like, like literally, I had to like disengage a little bit because I've been drinking since 3 p.m. that day.
Oh, yeah. No, it was a long day. It
Get-
was such a long
What
day.
time did we get home? Well, what time did you get home?
Oh,
Because
goodness.
I know that
Goodness.
I
Like
left.
4?
You got home at 4.
I think so.
Yeah, I think I got home
4.
at I got I think I got home at 4 and then I invited a boy over.
Happy Pride.
No, but I slept at like 5:30. It was so bad.
Oh, it's okay. No judge. We listen and we don't judge. But okay, speaking of that, It's probably a good thing that I'm not gay because if I was a gay man, like obviously I'm a straight woman, but I very much operate internally like a gay man. But if I was a really, really like a gay man, I fear I would get nothing accomplished because I would just be totally on the prowl all the time. I mean, the way that I just wished one of those guys would have like contemplated me for 5 seconds, just 5 seconds. That's all I needed was five. Like, just five.
Just call
That's fine. That's fine. No, but I know like clearly it was never going to be anything and therefore it was never going to be like a sexual attraction. I was just very physically attracted to them, but like nothing more.
I mean, listen,
you
if you
know
were gay, this episode would probably be sponsored by Hey Mister. The prep thing.
Hey, you know what? That would be my dream collaboration. I am such a big
I
proponent
know.
of keeping yourself safe and taking the medication you need to ensure that all parties are safe. And I even tell straight guys, I was like, listen, like, if you have any exploration that you want to be doing, I think everyone should be on prep. What the fuck am I talking
I
about?
know.
Every single person should be on prep because HIV does not discriminate you, gay, straight, or otherwise. Baby,
Yeah. I mean,
anybody can get it. We all should be on prep if
and
we're
it's like the
sexually
thing where
active.
it's like, love it and love that we have it and love that I'm on it, whatever. But like, it'll be like, oh yeah, like, it'll help prevent like, but it's like side effects include liver damage, bone damage. I'm like,
Welcome to birth control.
I know. I'm like, but that's what I'm saying. I'm like, what all
Welcome to
these
birth
things, I know
control.
all these things are like the side effects be like can kill you.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's like, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
But the funniest thing, I was like, Emily like starts talking to a man on the dance floor. And I'm sitting here like, of course, because this always happens in terms of like, and I love Emily. I love that, she potentially might be getting dick at this point. Like my mindset at this point, I'm like, you know what? Of course, we would come to a club and Emily would find a man before I did. And all I saw was like the ex trash. And then I started downing sushi at 2 a.m, which I don't even know why they were passing out sushi in the club.
I choked on that sushi. I legit.
I mean, you choked on that sushi because,
I wasn't
at
choking
least
on anything else. That's for sure.
I mean, yeah, the universe was like, you gotta choke on something this weekend. Like, it's Pride weekend. Like, I'm gonna give you something to choke on, babe.
Guys would be sashimi because it won't be anything else. No, that wasabi hit the back of my throat and it was just
I
automatically.
know. We thought she was throwing up.
No,
I
thank
was
God there was a
like,
trash can. No, that wasabi hit the back, and I was like, I gotta Heimlich myself. Like, it was just like instant fire down the back of my throat, and I was like, this is not gonna end well. Like this is gonna end up in my lungs, and I'm gonna be dead. I was like, I'm gonna die in the club to circuit party music. So I'm gonna go out with a bunch of shirtless, half naked men.
you're just like Emily's just like all I'm imagining is just Emily passed out there and like just some man giving a BJ because we saw that live. Like live in person, babe. I was like,
It
what
was
the
so.
And the conversations that I be like, one end of it, I'm hearing you like yak. And then some other girls like just talking. And then to my left of my ear, I hear some guy being like, his dick kind of smelled like this fish. And it's like 700 different conversations happening. And I'm just standing there like, wow, here
Well,
we are.
to be fair though, if I did choke on that sushi and it did kill me, I would be like, oh, I must be in the good place because all these men are super hot. I was like, so is this what heaven looks like? A bunch of
Your body may be in the good
my
place.
body's in the good
Your
place.
soul, I'm just kidding.
I was like, wow. I was like, all these men are really attractive. Are these my angels? They're like, no,
No,
bitch. No,
you
bitch. They're
wouldn't be in
not
the
for
good
you.
place. You may think you're in the good place. Like, you know how the trick they did on us? But then now you can't get a man for yourself. You definitely in the bad place. You
Oh,
can't get any dick. That's your
oh, I was in the bad place. Oh no.
yeah,
But
right?
I was in the place that looked good, but was not good for me.
The whole plot of the show,
Fuck.
right?
We uncracked it? Like,
No, because the whole plot of the show it was like the good place and they were like, "Wait, this is actually the bad place." Right? Did you not watch it?
and I didn't finish it, but
Oh.
okay.
But basically I think that's like what happened. I also can't recall.
Yeah.
Can't really recall, so
I
don't
really
come at me.
recall.
But yeah, I fear that I would like get despised like that. I'd be like, "Oh my god," like fully in hell. And it's like, "Oh my god, I love." And then it's like all just straight men. For me though. For
Yeah.
you it'd be all gay.
But actually, no, that is a good place for me because I get along so much more with gay men than I do straight men, and I'm physically attracted to gay men more than I am to
You
straight
would
men.
be
I would be, and it'd be fine. It would just be like
would it?
soul connections, not physical
Okay, babe.
connections.
I fear that you might be horrible to be around because you'd be so I need a release.
I'd find other things.
You'd be fighting for
I,
your
I'd
life.
find other ways. I'd find other ways to channel my energy. Maybe I'd take up crocheting or something.
Or more dance lessons, since
More.
Emily has been getting into so much dance, and she bruised her little knees, and I'm like, girl, at least something's
Oh
bruising
my
them
god.
knees.
Right. I know. Yeah, it's been rough. I'm definitely I've been ghosted, I think, by everybody, which is like fine. It builds character, right? Like if you don't, I'm kind of at the point, I'm like, if you're not a fan of me and you don't like me, like, okay,
What did I say, girl?
yep,
They
next.
didn't ghost you, like,
Yeah,
girl, you're just
next.
ayahuasca.
I
You
I
are.
think I might be, but I've been channeling all this like pent up energy to like dance classes, and I'm loving that I get to be like sexy in that way. And it's like sexy for me, not sexy for anybody else. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like this is
Period.
more authentic. And besides, like, I'm sorry, what how you gonna fumble a baddie like me? How you gonna watch that dance video and not be like, shit, that girl can move, you
Men
know?
will
Like,
literally fumble you, and then like,
yeah.
they'll be like, they'll get so mad. Like, why are you talking to other men? Girl, what?
Yeah.
You disappeared.
Yeah, I don't really have that issue because they, I don't think they ever come back. I think nothing I do is acutely traumatizing.
I
Like
mean,
I do is acutely
listen,
bad. So
the girls, they sync their periods. A girl and a gay, we sync our rosters, because ours
fair.
went from basically nothing to nothing. But
I had a good little run there for a bit. I
yeah,
did.
but it didn't really exist to me. I think it was just all fabricated in my mind,
Yeah.
to be honest. Yeah. Pack your bags and go, babe.
Pack your bags and go.
That's why I live alone.
That's why I live alone too.
Yeah, so I'm like kind of scared for this month.
Why are you scared? Talk to me.
June is overwhelming, girl. Okay, so the week before Pride weekend, I was already going out. I went like out like every day of that week.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and like people were like, "Dean, are you good?" I was like,
Yeah, you were on a bender, babe.
"Oh, yeah, I was. I think maybe I was." Yeah, that's why like okay, literally Saturday, people were like, "Come out, come out." I was like, "Baby, if I do, you will not see me. You will
Mm-mm.
not see me." And thank God I didn't, because then I was able to go out on Sunday and like have a good time, dance a little bit. And I didn't really drink much Sunday because I was like, girl, I gotta save my liver a little bit, because Pride is just all everything
It's
go every day.
so much. Pride is so exhausting,
Yeah.
but it's so fun. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, same.
Truthfully.
I mean, everyone, like the brands and shit, are being silent, so we all have to be so loud.
Yeah, but honestly, like, were the brands ever that great anyway? Like, were they when you really break it down? Were
No,
they?
they weren't. But
No.
and like I think it's just like, I think the more surprising thing is the brands that pretended to be, and then like they were like,
Yeah. Well, deep down, that means they never really
yeah.
were.
And
They
you know
never.
what I noticed, because I'm FBI researcher.
Hmm.
I realized that, which brand have you seen this year that changed their logo
Changed their logo like entirely.
to Pride? Like, you know how every year during Pride Month they like every logo is like rainbow.
I don't know. None of them, right?
None of, like, barely anyone changed them. Like the logos, like, to, because every year, like when Pride Month rolls around,
Yeah.
everyone like their things changes to like rainbow, whatever.
Yeah.
But this year, a lot of like very shy.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's why we gotta be loud as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to me, but their inability to, display outward support.
Yeah,
I was like, I wasn't really hanging my hat on them anyway, to be
yeah,
honest.
that's true.
And the best part about that is, since we live in such a capitalistic society, we do not have to support those brands. We don't. We don't.
Target's filing for bankruptcy, by the way.
Well, F around and find out. I mean, it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, okay,
Yeah, I mean,
it is what it is.
it is what it is, and like,
It's a bummer. It's a bummer
yeah,
because
it
I
is a
don't want
bummer.
I don't want other companies to come up that are worse. But you can't
Yeah.
actively harm people and expect people to want to reciprocate and be like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like, no,
Yeah, I think it's just
economic
like,
boycott. Go
I
for it.
just like part of me, right? I know it's like the month of celebration, and I love like, and I just think that the most important thing is also like surround yourself with like the people in your life. Like
Yeah.
Emily, I love her. Like surrounding yourself with like love, but also it's like, it's scary for some people, you know?
Yeah, it's
It's like
horrifying.
horrifying, and it's like depending on like how you appear, how like where you're around,
Yeah.
and like who you're around. Cause life, I just know it's just life, and like you just don't know. You just don't know. So always be safe, right?
Yeah.
And like I think more people who like have a platform, shout out to Paris Hilton. Like,
Yeah.
I love that queen down. Like, my little video got like 5 likes, but homegirl commented, and
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh my god, like,
Yeah.
iconic."
But it's iconic, but also it's what administrations do you support? Who do you support? Who are you voting for? Where's your money going?
And
Like,
the fact that she's so loud about it too, I love
yeah,
her for it. And
yeah.
like,
A little. I get sus on a lot of these celebrities, like these really uber wealthy celebrities that all of a sudden want to come around during Pride. I'm not saying Paris is. I don't know how Paris voted. I can't speculate.
oh, you know me though. I don't
Yeah.
I don't really I like dig, but I also have been following Paris for like years because
Yeah.
but like everything she does is out of like the goodness of her heart. No one ever like really like
Hmm.
the song, every single reel made with that song
Needs to go.
is like basically um made for someone's calling me and I'm like, no. But basically like they'll donate like $11
Yeah.
um to whoever.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
The
good.
queer community and stuff. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a hot sec. However, um and like before, like this girl in her car, like her whole car burned down like
Hmm.
last month.
Yeah.
And she was like, Paris Hilton, like my entire car like burnt down because of the heat. The only thing that survived was your tumbler. Paris Hilton finds that video.
Yeah.
Comments, buys her a new car.
Yeah.
And like every
I mean, as she should though, but that money comes out of her foundation, which is tax write-offs. I'm not
yeah, no,
dissing.
no,
You know what I'm
of course.
saying? Like a lot of things,
But
let's be
like,
honest,
you
are
know,
tax write-offs. But
yeah.
no, and I obviously my whole kitchen is Paris Hilton. Like I'm not anti-Paris at all. But you know, I think that it's I get really it just in general with like celebrity culture, like hopping on the bandwagon of like all of a sudden we care during Pride. And it's like, no, we care all the time. You
Yeah.
know, we care 24/7, 365 for marginalized communities.
Yeah.
We don't care when it's convenient. We care when it's difficult. We care when it's uncomfortable, you know?
Yeah.
And that's with anything when you see that people are being kicked when they're down. It's
Yeah.
and for the people that look at the LGBTQI plus community and have condemnation because of some reason, whether it's religious or they just think that, you know, they're not living life the way that they should. Who are you to judge other people? And also, why the fuck do you care what people do behind closed
Because
doors?
they're
And
gay.
well, yeah, like not even gay, but they don't. I when you're so secure with yourself, you don't care what other people do. And also, if you're so like locked in this idea that you're going to save somebody's soul and they're going to go to heaven and hell. Honey, we create a hell every single day when we judge ourselves and we judge others. Like you
Mm-mm.
are actively living in your own hell and suffering because you're walking around with such angst about life.
Yeah,
You're not living.
that's why I take life kind of like unseriously a lot of the times.
Yeah.
And I try the most of like and you know like and I feel like a lot of my friends like that I've met and gotten closer to in like the last 2 years, I think. And like you're one of my closest friends, right? And like you I feel like you've probably seen it too. It's like I don't really react that much anymore. Because I like try my best because I'm like life is so unserious for me to hold on to poison. Like for what? Literally for what? Like I would be miserable if I did that. And I think a lot of the times yes, I joke around and like when people are like being hateful, they're probably gay. But like, yes, part of that is true. But also, it's like, I think a lot of people are raised where they were not shown any love. And
Mm-hmm.
so they've grown up like always insecure. You know, maybe they were bullied. Maybe are their finances are not good, but they see all these like queer folk like succeeding or whatever. Like, I don't know what your situation, their like, not your situation, but like their situation is,
Yeah.
but I can see why someone may like want to project what, you know, how they're feeling, you know? Cuz
Yeah.
someone said like remember like when we were kids and people were like, "Oh, people the oppressed become the oppressor."
Definitely. Definitely. But it doesn't have to be that way.
It
And
doesn't.
it doesn't have to. Like,
I could dive deeper into this
get
within the
there.
gay
Yeah.
community, but I don't
Yeah. Get help, get therapy. Like, you don't have to live your life with such poison running through your veins. You
yeah.
don't have to. And quite frankly, that's exhausting.
It is
Let
exhausting.
go. Let go.
Yeah.
And just be the version of you that's the most authentic version.
Yeah.
Cuz I wouldn't want to live my whole life in a lie and projecting onto other people and tearing other people down.
That's a
You know,
miserable life.
for
Like
what?
honestly, if you think
Like
about it, it is a miserable life. But
it's
like,
horrible.
you know, I feel bad for people, but like
Yeah.
it doesn't excuse any like bad behavior, but I just feel bad sometimes because I'm like I have empathy because I'm like, girl, your life is so like
Eh,
shitty,
yeah.
like for doing that, you know.
Yeah. I just I pity them and I
I
give them
pity
space.
them.
I
Yeah,
don't I'm not going to reason with the unreasonable. I'm not going to tolerate the intolerant. I'm just going to say Must be a sad life you live.
Yeah, literally.
I hope you find love one day, and I hope you find self-acceptance, and
Yeah.
you got that's a personal journey, honey. That's a personal journey. I can't do
Yeah.
it for you.
I mean, I probably shouldn't bring this up, but I mean, you know what? It's Pride Month. We talking about hard shit. But
Yeah.
anyway, so you know how like the end of May is like AAPI month? And
Yeah.
so the beginning of June, the first week, someone coined this on Instagram Reels. They were like, that means it's Gaysian week. Okay, it's Gaysian week. And I'm like, period. Gay and Asian, if you didn't know.
I love Gaysian.
Gaysian. I mean, you're sitting next to one if you
I
didn't.
love. Well, oh, honey, I thought you were straight the whole time. Freaky Friday.
I'm just kidding. I'm leaving right now. That was the worst. Me, that's like the worst, what do you call it? Insult that anyone could give me. You're straight.
Don't call me a heterosexual. Oh,
Oh,
no.
heterosexual.
I mean, that's how I know sexuality.
Hyper no.
How I know sexuality is not a choice.
Because why do I like men? Literally, it's not a choice. It's really not.
I'm attracted to men physically. Like, I'm attracted to men physically, but am I really like attracted to men? No. Like,
Yeah.
you
I don't know.
know.
Sometimes I question it and then I'm like, fuck. If sexuality was a choice, definitely wouldn't be choosing that.
Okay, so
Oh, wait, but anyway, we got off track because ADHD girlies. But no, the reason why I brought up the Asian thing and like I think like the oppressing thing where it's like people are like oppressing the LGBTQIA community and stuff. I think there's also oppression inside the community that a lot of people don't talk about. That I'm like, but it's like I'm trying to give this not as an attack, but as an example of why people need to like work on their mind and work through the shit they've been through. Because a lot of gays, right? They have like preferences of who they like want to date due to the fact that they didn't feel like they were enough, and so they oppose onto other people. So like the oppressed, right? They were gay, so they were probably bullied, whatever. They become the oppressor within somewhere because they need to feel like they're like above someone because their whole life they didn't feel like that.
It's like power.
Yeah, they
need
have to
power.
feel power or whatever. So that's why they put down so many people, and that's why you see like body shaming and all that in the gay community, and that's why a lot of people have body issues and like people are taking steroids and like, you know, and like I think like the pressure and like yeah. But I just wanted to bring that up because I think that's also really important because I think that's why there's such a push on like, yes, everyone's like diversity and whatever, but it's like it's so important because I remember there was a time when people were like, oh, it's a preference that I don't like this entire race. Baby girl, just say you're racist.
Yeah, that's crazy. That makes me sad. It makes me sad that, you know, people treat other people that way. And there's someone out there for everyone. I really do think that. Like, I'm not going to yuck somebody's yum. Like,
Yeah.
there are certain things that I'm not attracted to, but I'm not going to cut down people for liking that, or I'm not going to be cruel to that person. Be like, there's no need for it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't do me any good. It makes me more sad that like you're gonna treat somebody like that, because I've been treated like that. I don't want to be treated that way, nor do I want
Yeah.
to treat others that way.
And that's the thing again, like it's
Ugh.
from insecurity, but also it's like it's still kind of the world we live in. And like so for example, like I was complaining to Emily earlier about like the whole algorithm, whatever, but it's like if you're an attractive based on societal like or like community standards, like in terms of like you're muscular, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that type of gay, you could post anything. You'll probably like gain more followers than I have in the past year just because of that.
Mm.
And it's like, it kind of like, I think that part of it, it pisses me off sometimes, but then I'm like, I can't be pissed off because that's like, you know, I can't be holding that. But I think that like there's like a deeper investigation that like needs to be going on and people need to be more introspective instead of just like dilly dally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's multifaceted. I think
Yeah.
there's beauty standards. I think, you know,
Intersectional though, yeah.
who determines what's attractive, like who in power determines, because it changes all the time.
Yeah.
Beauty changes all the time. It you know, it's selling products. It's a market, you know.
Yeah.
And also, you know, I think what matters at the end of the day is, do you like who you are?
Yeah.
Deep down, like radically, do you like who you are?
Yeah.
And you have to love who you are. And it's hard. It's life's work.
I really don't
it's
even think I'm
life's
gonna
work.
like I already taken it as fact and not in a sad way. I don't think I'm gonna love myself 100% because I don't think that's possible. Like I
Mhm.
genuinely don't think that. But then like I think like maybe you could get like really close to 100%, but like I feel like I still have days no matter how like much I've worked on myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's being human. We all have days. We all have days where things don't feel as good as we would want them to. And then you have to unlearn like that voice in your head that tells you, it's because of X, Y, and Z. And that's not true,
Yeah.
because you were conditioned to believe that you weren't enough. You were conditioned to believe that you don't meet this standard, but that's somebody else lying to you. That's you lying to you. Like, do you believe the lies that you're told? No, you
Yeah.
shouldn't, but that's years of that
But
compounding.
then you believe in those lies when you've been telling yourself them. You get what I
Exactly.
mean? Because it's like once you start telling yourself that narrative, right? And then the
Hmm.
outside world confirms it, you're just like, oh my God, you
Yeah,
believe it. Even
absolutely.
though if it is a lie, which is so fucking crazy to me, which is like your mind is your biggest asset. And
Yeah.
take care of your mind, girly pops.
Well, that's like kind of going back to, the people that are projecting all this hatred out. I can't imagine the prison that they're living in their mind. I cannot imagine what what it takes to get you to be that way, whether that's religious conditioning or someone telling you you're going to go to hell your whole life, or someone saying that if you don't, do X, Y, and Z, that like you're gonna be condemned, or no one's gonna love you, or you're not gonna be this, that, and the other. And then you live with that in your heart every day. Like, I'm sorry, that's a way worse fate than living your truth and being accepting of who you are and loving who you are.
And that's why I say all the time, it's like, I think a lot of people, and like that probably when they got told that in their whole life, they probably felt anger and repressed it. And that's why your
Mm-hmm.
anger becomes so loud. And there's like a whole like long video that I want to make about this. Like, I was like trying to record it the other day, but I started like getting a little bit not sad, but like I used to have a lot more anger issues. I
Mm-hmm.
think like I would get angry easily because I never like made anger my friend. But anger is actually a really one of the most intuitive, best emotions you can have. But I think people get it confused because they confuse the loud anger as what anger is. But what anger is, it helps you walk away from mistreatment. It tells you when you're disrespected, etc., etc. But when you make anger your friend, you acknowledge it and you listen to it, it's not going to be so loud. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
just tell you when to walk away. You claim it and you're gone. But when you have anger that's pent up for all these years that you're like, you don't want to listen to it, you're like, no, 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 it must be whatever. That's when it gets like anger. Like people start yelling, screaming, reacting, and like
Mm-hmm.
their anger popping up in different parts of their lives, like for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
That is why.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, definitely been there.
I mean, some days I still, it still pops up, but that's just like you're human, like there's some things you may have not worked out that it accidentally got like flicked up, like,
Yeah.
when you're like
Triggered.
triggered when you
Triggered.
see something by accident. Yeah. But I think like I thought it was okay, but like here's the thing. I know some people in the audience or even like people I know maybe like, oh, that's bullshit, whatever, yada yada. It's like the same thing with like journaling and then like the like acknowledging your anger and like I used to be one of those people like, yeah, okay, like you acknowledge it, girl, but
Mhm.
like do the journaling, fucking acknowledge the anger and like whatever, and like make it your friend so that you don't have to be like mistaking the argument and the conflict with the person. Like separate those.
Mhm. I
I
agree.
used to not be able to, and then I would attack the person instead of the
Mhm.
argument due to like the repressed anger. So,
Yay. That's a breakthrough.
period.
Period.
No, but actually, no. That's why I'm like, I think like a lot of that, like what you were talking about
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah, I just, you know,
I mean, I harbored a lot of anger and resentment towards my parents,
yeah.
like because of all that. They're like, the unlovability or like you're not enough or like you can't cry. It's like that's so girly, like whatever. It's like and
Yeah.
all that repressedness and like that anger that I felt and stuff. I just held it in and like it just like bursted out, you know, in
Mhm.
different like pockets of my life.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on with a lot of people that are so vocal about, you know, hatred towards the community. I think there's a lot of repression going on. I think there's a lot of shame where there shouldn't be shame. I think there's a lot of confusion. I think there's a lot of anger. I think there's a lot of I think there's a lot of sadness. I think a lot of people are very sad. You know, I it just like it begs to question for me, you know, and this I made a post about this, like there is this phenomenon. It's not a phenomenon. it's a fact that a lot of like apps like Grinder and apps like that, the circuit crashes at the Republican National Convention and CPAC, which is another conservative one, or big religious conferences, because there's a lot of secretiveness going on with people seeking, same sex
It's all repression, baby
actions.
girl.
Yeah, it's repression. People are acting on it, shameful, and then they're going home to their wives, and, that's how people get STIs and things like that, because there's so much shame in that. And, unfortunately, there's not a lot of education that happens in these uber religious communities. There's a lot of hush hush, like sexuality is not discussed. There's nothing of education going on. And these women they don't even know what's going on with their bodies, let alone what their partners are doing behind closed doors. And there was a statistic that one of the fastest growing populations of people with HIV is heterosexual white women. I wonder why. Do the math.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Do the
always
math.
just telling you like the girly pops, like
Yeah.
if he's too busy for you, baby girl, no, he's not. There are people literally with wives, with families, and they're on Grinder, and
Yeah.
they're like literally running like for
Yeah.
office. Like
Yeah, they're
it's
running for
like,
office. They're pastors. They are leaders in the community. So
like,
don't
girl,
kid
don't fall
yourself.
for that
Don't
shit.
fall for it. Like it's the biggest propaganda they got going. And the thing is I think we know,
Yeah,
but we know and they don't think that we know, or they
yeah.
do such a good job projecting and yelling and screaming and
Well, that's
making.
why they have to distract from that,
Yeah, it's like the call's
or
coming
they
from
pay,
the
or they
call's
pay
coming from
inside the house. It literally is.
always. The call always comes from inside the house. That's what, like, you've said this before. If you're yelling and screaming about something or you're getting triggered from something, it's something you're not dealing with.
It's something you're not dealing with, and
Yeah.
that's why like when people are like so childish, or like how like they react on like the news or whatever. I'm like, baby, it's literally what you're like triggered right now. You're reacting because you're dealing with that. Like,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I'm sorry. Like remember the pastor that invented conversion therapy came out as gay?
Yeah, of course.
Like,
Shocker.
baby,
What is he doth protest too much?
he protested himself
He
into.
Yeah, and I hope that pastor, I mean, what he did is he harmed a lot of people. He did. Unequivocally, he harmed a lot of people. Conversion therapy does not work. It's not a thing. It should have never been mainstreamed, and it should definitely be outlawed. But hopefully he found peace with who he was and he radically accepts who he is. And like, I don't understand why people want to police what other people do behind closed doors. I don't care. I don't go to bed
Hurt
thinking,
people, hurt people.
yeah, hurt people, hurt people. I don't go to bed thinking about the genitalia of my neighbors. I don't go to bed thinking about what other people are doing and what is in their mouth. I don't care. As long as it's consensual, as long as no one's being harmed, and as long as it's legal, I don't go around thinking about that because I have other, better, more productive things to think about.
Yeah, and also the thing you obsess about is the thing you're not dealing with also, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
there's no man that thinks about um gay sex or the same sex marriage more than a homophobic man.
Well, it's
Cuz
so strange.
why? Cuz literally I don't even think about men getting with men that often. And y'all do? I'm like, y'all think about that more than me.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. I
Well,
mean, granted, her and I, we were like giving this advice. We were like, but we still crash out. We're like,
as we do.
we're like, yeah. But once we can take our own advice, it's over. It's over for
I'm
these
starting to
bitches.
take mine more. Like, I'm really starting to
Yeah,
decenter all the nonsense because it's just chatter.
yeah. I think we're
And
getting better at it.
yeah, and repression breeds obsession. Like what we were saying earlier, like if you're so sexually repressed, you will obsess over it and you will act out eventually. Like
Yeah,
it's,
it's like the kid and the
candy.
kid and the candy, but also like when your parents tell you you can't go out, what do you want to do?
Go out. Yeah,
You want to sneak out the window. You want to like.
yeah. And it's insane to me. Like,
Same thing with like food.
yeah.
You're like, I can't eat a cookie. You're gonna eat 12 eventually.
Yeah, that's why crash diets don't work and that's why they're non-sustainable. Is you train your brain to say you can't have this one thing, and the second you can have it, you're going to have like way too much of it. And then you're going to obsess over the fact that you didn't have it, and then it tastes so much better because you couldn't have it. And
Yeah.
it's all crazy. Psychology is wild.
Your
Our
brain
brain,
is a powerful shit.
yeah.
Like,
Your brain is your most powerful sex organ.
I know. I'm
It's not your
scared.
genitals, it's
I'm
your brain.
scared of Alzheimer's though.
Well, we'll get you Sudoku puzzles. We'll take dance classes. We'll
Girl, I
play.
have a Sudoku book right there that I haven't even done yet. It's funny
Damn. Well,
though.
there you go.
I fear though. I do fear it a lot.
Do you have a familial history of Alzheimer's? Okay.
And
Well, there are certain ones that are more prevalent than others. I think it might be Lewy body dementia, but
I think I'm more scared because my 23andMe said it.
that you're predisposed to it.
I have like yeah, the genes and
Yeah. Well,
shit.
it doesn't mean they'll be activated. It means that you have a higher probability, but not all genes get activated. And
With the way I don't sleep though.
yeah, we're gonna work on that, Shug.
Yeah.
You and I both.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll let our bodies heal.
Because I was crashing out the other day and then like this video popped up and it was like once you start like sleeping less than 7 hours, the less you sleep, like the less length of your life. And I was like, thank God. Oh, oh.
I mean, you and I don't sleep. I'm starting to sleep a little bit more, but I still don't sleep near enough as
I
I
need to try to
should.
sleep as much as I can.
I think so. Me
Yeah.
too. Me too. It's hard with the schedules we're on, but that's okay. You know, I always say I can't do this indefinitely. I mean, well, maybe I can. I don't know. I'm built pretty crazy.
Me, well, both of us. I think the two delusionals found each other to cancel each other out, right? I made this video like before I even met you a year and a half ago. I was like, two delulus, like when you multiply them, what happens in math when you multiply two negative things? It becomes a positive.
Exactly.
So I feel like the way we rub off on each other and the way that when we like, it's always either a pattern like where it's like I'm crashing out and she's not, and then she's crashing out and I'm not, and then so we can like banter back and forth to be like, listen, ho, listen,
You're being crazy.
you being
You're being
crazy.
crazy.
But like honestly, without you, I feel like venting to you too. Sometimes I'm like, I would have gone off the rails.
Well, yeah. We'll keep each other
I
in
would have
check.
moved cities.
No, we don't do that. No, no, no. We don't do that.
What did Lord say? We live in cities.
Oh my God, I
I
forgot
could
that was Lord. I forgot that was Lord.
no.
That's actually so funny that Lord popped up today because in honor of Pride Month, I'm watching RuPaul's Drag Race. Like that's gonna be my number one show, and I think I'm on like season 8 or something. It was with Bob the Drag Queen, and there was like a Lord reference, and I literally got to that episode today, and I'm like, oh, like when you start noticing patterns like within society and the universe, like it's just so glaringly obvious. And what better month than Pride? I mean, RuPaul is
I
my
mean,
favorite
I
show.
love Pride Month,
Yeah,
especially in LA.
it's the best.
Like I
It
love it.
it's owe I owe so much to the community. I don't know, like had I not found this community and had this community embrace me, even years ago, like I would have never found out my true self. Like because I'm allowed to express myself creatively and I am innately drawn to very creative, brave, beautiful people. And there's something really radical about embracing who you are unapologetically.
And I think we welcome you because I think you also come from a place of kindness. Because honestly, I feel like the gays, we can tell when you're not being genuine. Do you get what I mean? It's like, but you come with love and shit. And it's like, sometimes people come and like the reason why they're like, oh, it's so weird. I'm like, yeah, because you look at us like we're fucking zoo animals.
That which is so wild to me. And like the last thing I ever want to be is that like straight white obnoxious girl that's like, oh my God, it's all about me. Like I don't want to be that like bachelorette party trope because that's not who I am. Like that I would never want to impose myself on another community
Yeah.
and be like, okay, like the girls screaming and yelling at drag brunch. I mean, like tip, like get
Yeah.
into it, but like you're not the show. They are. The girls are. Like
Yeah.
the performers are. It's you are in this space and be respectful and you know be an ally all the time.
Be an ally. Yeah. And like,
All
I
the
think it's
time.
just like, I think it gets a lot when like, it just becomes like, that one thing that people do on like their bachelorette or like
It's novelty.
whatever.
It's not novelty. Like,
It's,
okay,
yeah.
drag is art, if for
Yeah,
real.
it is
Like,
art, and like some of y'all can't appreciate it. Um, but I think okay,
Don't you
one
have-
thing. Well, before we end this episode, I just wanted to say one thing because I think a lot of it, as a gay man myself, we also have to remember that gay men are still men, right? That's number one. But
Oh,
gay men are still men, but also it's LGBTQIA month. Make these queer spaces also inclusive of lesbian women, like bi
yes,
folks and stuff, because I think the emphasis a lot is like gay men, gay men. I really do think so. And it's not even, I'm not self-hating right now, I'm just saying like what my
absolutely.
observations where it's like I think when people think of Pride Month, they're like gay men. But I'm like, okay, but like you also have to allow space for the L's, the G's, and the B's, and the
Yeah,
I's,
and the
and the Q's,
Q's and the
I's,
A's
whatever,
and the
everyone.
yeah,
It's not just
gay men.
a gay man's like you can't brand yourself as like a LGBTQIA like inclusive space
Yeah.
if not all the letters are like included. Like,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I
Oh
feel
my
like that's
God.
one of my observations though.
Uh, absolutely. And, you know, I will say this, the most manly men that I know, like truthfully, providers, protectors, that fucking trope that drives me nuts. That these like alpha men, like, I'm a provider and I'm a protector. The community that has provided and protected me without any hesitation has not been straight men. It's been my gay friends.
Oh my god, true.
No, like
Yeah,
they
literally.
are the most masculine men I've ever fucking met. When you want to break down these characteristics about what makes a man, like, no. And they're protecting me in fucking 5-inch heels, and they're hitting an 8 count and a 5, 6, 7, 8 and strutting. Like,
Period.
that is so amazing. Or it's lesbian women that are sticking up, like, that are helping out. Like, no, that is what everyone wants to be, truthfully. Because I'm
Yeah.
just like, providing and protecting who? Yourselves? Like, no one provides and protects more than straight men for other straight men. And let me tell you, you know, we all were hoodwinked back in the day going into Abercrombie and Fitch looking at this like amazing store where all the preppy guys, that was the most homoerotic fucking store I've ever been in. Like,
Literally.
no wonder why I'm into to men. They're all in a dog pile naked. And I was like, I like that. That's how I knew I was straight.
Oh no, I tried to get a job. No, I tried to get a job at Abercrombie and Fitch when I was in high school, and they're like, "You are ugly.
You
Like
are
you have
you're
to be
so
no,
hot.
but like, you have to be
Stop.
hot. It like that type of like you have to be white. You have to be hot to work there. Like you know what I mean? Though, like you know the standard back then. Like
Yeah.
you know,
Crazy.
I'm not being self-hated, but like even like I feel like that's the one thing about like I think the people I surround myself. I'm not gonna speak for everyone because I know everyone's not like this, but I know that the people I surround myself with who are in the queer community, like I know they will protect me. Like I may look like a Twinkie, but like
You're from New York.
I'm from fucking New York, bitch. I
It's
will fuck you the fuck up. And also, a straight man would never drive you home
no.
after Pride.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Well, that's my biggest thing. Not that I'm dating right now. I'm not. It is so funny to me that, if you are a man that is wanting to be around me, you're going to have to be with all my other men. Like, you're going to have to be very secure in yourself because, there's a lot of guys like, I only know one gay person. I'm like, I've talked to 5 this morning. Like, that's all,
Like
like,
she
that's the
woke
men I
up.
talk to.
She woke up and she had 20 voicemails from us.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And like checking in. Oh, whose house you at? Oh, where you be? Like what you do last night? And it's like, we're like spilling the tea and we're talking and we're making each other laugh. And it's like, no, but like I'm surrounded by many men in my life. They're just not straight men. And that's okay. And that's okay. But like, you have to be okay with this community because if I sniff out any ounce of homophobia, if I sniff out any ounce of intolerance, you're going to be out as fast as you came in. Like, don't let the door hit you on the way out. I better not fucking ever see your number come across my screen. Like, you're done. Like, dead and buried. We're not doing that anymore because,
yeah.
like, you guys are not leaving my life. Like, love interests may come and go,
But
but
friends are forever.
yeah,
That's why I never understood,
I don't get it.
especially like girly pop, especially during Pride Month.
Oh,
Like, don't ever let your friends go for someone a romantic thing because it's like some friends may not be forever, but a majority of your close circle as you age, I feel like will be forever. And like, you cannot let someone who like can turn around and decide that, they don't want you and then like ghost all your friends. Cause like what's going to happen when you're going through your hardest times, And I think a lot of people forget that. Cause I'm like, if you don't know how to be a friend, you don't know how to be in a relationship.
yeah. It's so true. It's so freaking true. Oh,
Mm-hmm. And
what?
with that,
That's on that.
no, but no, we have so many pride, I guess, kikis and gaggles and delulu shit so that we're gonna spills. So this is just the beginning of the month. We'll give you more
Yeah.
stories when
This is like what? Like within the first few days? Crazy.
first few days, and
Yeah.
I'm like, give me just I don't know. I don't know what to give me because I don't know if I'll survive, but
It's
I'm
okay.
about to have an aneurysm.
People can do hard things and I'm here to help you. We'll pace. We'll get pacing.
Girl, you leaving town.
So are you.
Well, no, I'm not leaving till later. When are you
Okay.
leaving town?
This weekend, but it's a quick turnaround.
You're going to D. Oh no, you're not going to DC Pride. You're
Yeah,
seeing
no.
your
I
aunt.
wish I was seeing World Pride, but you know, I also don't think that the United States should be hosting World Pride right now, but that's a different tangent in itself, and we don't have enough time for that. But
Yeah, someone was gonna invite me to DC Pride.
doesn't deserve to host World Pride.
But I just honestly, being really honest right now, if I were to attend World Pride, I don't think I would have a moment of non-anxiety because just being where it is at and then the current state of where we are, I'm like, I'd be scared because some shit might go down.
Oh,
Like I'm afraid, but like I'm not trying to manifest
stay
that
hopeful.
though. Knock on fucking wood.
I'm trying to stay hopeful that there are enough sane, good people that don't subscribe to that nonsense and that very dark way of thinking, and that everybody is more accepting than that. And I do think there are a lot of good people in this world. I really do.
Yeah, I think it'll be okay. I think personally, I'm like, it's kind of like travel and stuff for me too. It's like I have a Pride, and I might go to New York Pride too. So if y'all are there,
all fails,
because I'm going to New York on the 21st.
Ooh.
I think I'm staying with a girlfriend.
Yeah, the girls.
I was gonna stay with anyway. He might listen to this, but I was gonna stay with the boy, but then I was like, he ended up being kind of
let him. If he listens to it, let him. He knows who it is.
I'm like, ooh, girl. But it's okay because I'll be staying with a girlfriend for a couple days. I already told my mom though, I was like, I don't want to be in Queens for the first few days I'm in New York. I need to experience the city.
Go out in Brooklyn, have Kiki, have some fun.
Oh
go
yeah,
out,
no,
dance till dawn.
Brooklyn, Hell's Kitchen. Actually, Hell's Kitchen is kind of just all the muscular gays, toxic.
Everyone's toxic, babe.
I know,
at least they're good to look at.
Brooklyn is a more chill vibe though. That's more vibe. I grew up near Brooklyn though, more near Brooklyn because of Queens, but. Yeah, okay. Thanks for listening, Girly Pop. My name is Dean.
And I'm Emily.
And we love you. Ooh, look at this. Interlocking hands. We're straight now. Just kidding.
How white I look compared to you. Oh my God, you're so tan. Jesus.
Oh my God, I just realized. Well, no, I've been tanning so much. So get your Pride tan on, Girly Pop. Yeah. And happy Pride Month. Yes. We love you.
We love you just the way you are. You're perfect just the way you are.
Just the way you are. You were born this way, like Lady Gaga said. Woo! And also Venmo your gay friends $100 because they deserve it. And if you're a true ally.
You're a true ally, get them tequila sodas.
3 of them will be $100. So
there you go.
So basically, Emily bought me a drink the other day. I was like, yep, this is queer allyship. Yeah. Because why was a drink at Pride? Did you buy a drink at Pride?
I did, I think.
It was $38.
Yeah.
Anyway, over and out. Hopefully I'll see y'all this month.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Love y'all.